Oh, Black Betty, bam, lamb. Oh, Black Betty, bam, lamb, Black Betty, Black Betty.
You know the song, you know the legend. Now it's time for a fresh take. Sound Frontier Band is re-recording Black Betty as part of the Man Who Invented Rock and Roll documentary project, paying tribute to the great Leadbelly with a brand new sound for a new generation. My name is DJ Al Spin, and I'm the great nephew and family archivist of the legendary blues singer Leadbelly. For the past 15 years, I've been traveling the world learning about Leadbelly's musical impact. I've met some very talented musicians. In this project, I'm excited to join and create a new generation of music inspired by my uncle's catalog. In order for us to bring a new sound frontier in the 21st century, we need you to make it happen. Your support helps bring this iconic song back to life. So let's do this. Join the movement, back the campaign, and let's get Black Betty back where she belongs, blasting through your speakers. Hit the
Oh,
link
Black
and be part
Betty,
of Music
bam,
History.
lamb. Oh, Black Betty, bam, lamb, Black Betty, Black Betty, bam, lamb, Black Betty, Black.
IRS e-file is
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Worldwide, nationwide. You're checking in right now. This is Alvin, aka DJ Al Spin. I'm with my man Ali, band leader of Sound Frontier. How you doing, Ali?
I'm doing good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, we just starting this live stream right now.
Yeah, let's we got three people that have jumped on.
Nice.
Let's give it a well. Now I guess we could start. Other people will be coming on as we go. We'll just repeat any information for any of the latecomers.
We're doing this actually as a kind of a open series, an open discussion, just to talk about this campaign we're doing on Black Betty, which your group Sound Frontier is actually doing a cool remake of the song, right?
Correct.
How long have you and Sound Frontier been a band?
We've been a band for about, the actual band's been around for almost, I want to say like 12 years.
Okay. And where y'all based out of?
We're based out of New York City.
Gotcha. I'm based out of Nashville, Tennessee myself, where the Leadbelly Archives is, where Leadbelly Estate is, where the Leadbelly, even the director of the documentary we did, Leadbelly is Film House, Kurt Hahn.
Oh, cool.
He's here in Nashville, and it's AKA Music City.
Right.
So
Alvin, let me ask you a question. So basically, for everybody watching, what this is, as Alvin mentioned, this is basically giving you guys some insight into what's coming up in terms of something that was birthed by Alvin himself. And so for anybody who doesn't know who you are, if you could just say to the general public throughout the world who's going to be seeing this, just kind of let us know who you are, your relation to Leadbelly, how this all came about, how you put the whole documentary together, and what your thoughts are moving on from it and what you want to do with it.
Absolutely, man. My name is Alvin Singh. My DJ name is Al Spin. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I've lived all over the world, from Seattle to South Africa to DC. And quite frankly, for the last 15 years, I've been archiving Leadbelly's material.
Okay.
Leadbelly is my great uncle on my father's side, through my grandmother. And for the past 15 years, I've been working on this documentary, speaking and screening and panels and all over, just talking about Leadbelly's history, also known as the king of the 12-string guitar,
right?
Kind of the forefather of rock and roll music and blues music.
And so Alvin, why is Leadbelly so important?
Leadbelly's important because he is the forefather for what we know as all music right now. Without him and some of his music catalog, a lot of musicians from Bob Dylan all the way to Nirvana to the Roots, there's a certain caliber of music that they all start with and play, whether it's practice or like an interlude in their own concerts. He always comes up, and so that's why he's important.
Oh, okay. So can you talk a little bit about the documentary itself, how that came about, what it kind of details or what it entails, how that's been received, what you've done with it?
The documentary is definitely a labor of love. It's definitely something that that the family wanted to do, just as a video format. You know, we got albums and compilations, and we even did a coffee table book with a German publisher. It's a nice coffee table book, and we, you know, thousands, hundreds of photos, telegrams, and letters written by him. But we hadn't done nothing in the visual standpoint, and when I came to my grandmother to do it, she gave me her address book. I opened the address book, and who do I see? Harry Belafonte, Odetta.
Oh, wow.
Pete Seeger, Arlo Guthrie, you know, Joan Baez, these type of people. And I just said, hey, man, this is where we start. We start with these legends.
Okay. Oh, all right. So how long did it take to actually put the documentary together? Where can people find it? And what exactly sort of did it cover? Because Leadbelly's life goes from starting almost, what is it, 100 years old at this point, I believe, more so?
He was born in 1889. So
yeah, we're over a century old. He's gone from everywhere. He's lived almost everywhere across the country and beyond. His life goes from, you know, the street to concert halls to prison to all these other kinds of things. So what aspects of his life does this documentary touch?
So we talk all of his life, mainly the life that he's alive. So not so much of the past 75 years since he passed away in 1949. But we do talk about what it was like for him to live in the Jim Crow South, right? Okay. So like you said, he was born in 1889, so just 20 years after the Civil War. And then he's, you know, became known as a musician in the 20s and the 30s. Right. And during this time, he was playing in Texas and Arkansas and Louisiana and any juke joints or little wild horse saloons that he could play at.
Right.
That's what he would, you know, that's what he would play.
Those buckets of blood.
Yeah, right.
Right.
He was friends with Blind Lemon Jefferson, who was well known in Texas.
Yep.
He was friends with Woody Guthrie, you know, Paul Robeson when he was in New York City. But it was very interesting, man, you know, to learn about how he would travel and go kind of city to city and play his music. But then he would also, years later, travel with the Lomaxes in different prisons and learn about songs, you know, more songs that he had added to his repertoire.
Okay.
So it's been very fascinating.
All right. So when the documentary finished, what did you try to do with it in terms of how you put it out? What was your plan on getting it to the masses? And where are you now with that plan?
So the documentary was getting the distribution later, right? So this was at a time where we said, hey, we just got to tell the story no matter what.
Right.
And I'm glad we did, because 7 people in the film passed away. We did the movie, and we've now got a distribution where it's going to be on streaming platforms, and you can order the DVD through Amazon Prime.
All right. All right. So so that has been successful, and you've been doing a lot of things, making a lot of moves with the documentary. Explain a little bit about where you're trying to go with it now, some of the things you're trying to do. Talk a little bit about the Leadbelly 2025 project, what that sort of is for all of the fans that are out there, people who might be interested, people who are blues lovers of Leadbelly, lovers of music in general. Why should they be interested in this sort of idea that you've had to kind of go to the next step with this documentary? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it was really important because, like I said, we wanted to do a different medium, right? So we did the books, we did the compilation albums before, and now we're doing this documentary. Well, then it brought it back to me again to bring it back into the music again, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Of trying to take his songs and remake them again. You know, it's not that nobody hasn't done it.
Correct.
You know, in this case, like Black Betty, I mean, from Tom Jones to Ram Jam, it's been done.
Correct.
But it's
and used all over the place, used in sports events, it's been highlighted on Beyonce's Twitter page. So yeah,
Yeah, hockey stadiums, everything.
yeah,
So it's an iconic song, right?
right,
And so it's a challenge, really, man. And I wanted to give it to someone like you, who I've been friend with and just really rock with. And I said, look, man, if you can do this, this is a good challenge for you,
right,
right?
right,
This is something that you can take on as a band and do your own version on it. This is not,
right,
hey, how you should make it or try
right,
to beat so and so else's version, but just do your own version to it, you
right,
know? And that's what I really want people to see. And so part of this documentary was saying, all right, let's get a soundtrack for it.
right.
Let's
But that
get a
makes
song
sense.
first,
Yeah, it's music, right?
It's a music play, so we need the
Music,
song to
right,
go with it. So
right.
you stepped up to the challenge, man, and
Yeah.
that's why we're doing this whole thing. Make sure everybody check out the Indiegogo, because what we want you to do is get a piece of owning this song. So
Right.
if you can support it, you can hear it first.
Exactly.
Tell
Well, so
people more about that, like your
yeah.
process on
Let
Black
me give a
Betty.
little background. This is where I'll kind of jump in because this is the part of the story where I sort of come in. So first, I want to give a big shout out to Kyle Dixon. I don't know if I know he's going to be watching this at some point. So I just want to say shout outs and gratitude to Kyle Dixon. He's our mutual friend. That basically he's the one that came to me and said, hey, I got a friend of mine in Tennessee who is related to Leadbelly because he was my roommate for a couple years, a lot of years, actually. We were living in an apartment in Harlem up until late last year. And so he knows about Sound Frontier. He knows about my band. And he also knows about my love for the blues, which is where I come from musically. And he's, as we would have conversations about music ranging from hip hop, R&B, soul, reggae, it got to the blues, obviously, because I like to go there with it. But he said, well, I know one of the descendants of Leadbelly. And I was like, stop playing. And he said, no, for real. I know him. He's in Tennessee, and if you want, I can kind of put in a good word for you. And he's, we're all in sort of the same range in terms of age and peer group. I said, yeah, man, make it happen. And so, to be honest, I'm not even really sure how he did that. Was it a phone call? I think he put us on a phone call, a three-way or something. I forgot how the
It may
actual.
have been that. Yeah, it may have been that.
I think it
No, I
started
think it was when I came in town.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it was a lot of talk. It's going to happen. It's going to do this, and yeah. And then, for whatever reason, Alvin decided to come up to Harlem, and he spent a night or two with us at the crib. And then that's when I got the chance to talk to him directly, and we just kind of chatted a little bit about the blues and Leadbelly, and he told me about the project. And then so at that point in my head, like a file in the Rolodex or whatever, Leadbelly, who's always been someone that I knew about, obviously, as Alvin said, he's the king of the 12 string. There's a tone like Miles Davis, like Jimi Hendrix, like a bunch of other musicians and even artists. When you just kind of hear their instrument, Robert Johnson, Charlie Patton, when you hear their instrument, you know who they are. There is a very familiar tone. And so I've always had a great deal of respect for Leadbelly as an artist, as a Black man in general, going through the life that he went through and being able to create great music that speaks not just to Black people, but to everybody in general, and really continues to speak to people well after he passed away, which is really the whole purpose of music and good music. So I decided to be a little bit more focused on Leadbelly. And as I was kind of working on that, I already knew the Ram Jam song, obviously. And so I just started to dwell on it a little bit, and then just started coming up with some ideas of my own for the song. And then the conversation between you and me was basically like, all right, this is what we're going to try to work on. And I told you, if I remember correctly, I said, look, I'm going to do a version. I'll send it to you. I'll do a quick little demo. We'll send it off to you. Let me know what you think. And if there's anything you want to do with it, or if you feel there's any kind of place for it, let me know, man. I'll be happy to, contribute and be a part of whatever you want to do with Leadbelly, with the legacy and with the music. So we went ahead, we recorded a demo and sent that over. And Alvin, if you could just talk a little bit about what your reactions and response was to the actual Sound Frontier version of Black Betty.
So what I liked about your version was it was unique. It didn't sound like something that I heard before.
Right.
With the Ram Jam, it was kind of a rock 70s kind of version.
Yeah.
And
which is a great version, by the way. Shout outs to Ram Jam.
And Leadbelly just kind of a acapella, bluesy, spiritual kind of work song kind of version. So, it's one of those things where, I mean, if I had asked the Reggae Band to do their version, I would have liked it, right?
Right.
But I liked how you took the song, and man, I really liked it. I liked the demo that you did. It was your own twist to it. Right. And that's why I'm hoping, we can do this campaign so people can see it and hear it and see a video and see it live.
Yeah. So, I mean, getting a little bit into the Indiegogo campaign, which is the crowdfunding site that we have just launched today, that will allow anybody who's interested, any fans of Leadbelly and music who wants to sort of see this thing happen. Basically, what this project is as Alvin was saying, we are trying to reimagine the music of Leadbelly into the 21st century. And so Alvin has thought of a soundtrack, which is kind of like a compilation, which would be different artists giving their interpretation of Leadbelly's music, whether it's Black Betty, whether it's Midnight Special, Goodnight Irene. Let me know if I'm getting these correct. Just re-envisioning these songs from a different lens from 21st century artists, which I think is very important because that gives the music breadth. And so we decided, since I basically had a version more or less ready to go, Alvin was like, hey, well, let's launch it with the Sound Frontier version of Black Betty. So that's what we want to do. We're actually going to launch this as the first track or first single of a larger compilation that is going to follow it, that is going to be representative of the documentary, be representative of, Leadbelly and the music. And so this is going to be sort of an ongoing process that's starting with one song, but the idea is to create almost a new narrative of different artists and interpreting Leadbelly and what that meant. So what you're going to get is a lot of different feels. You're going to get a lot of different ideas from the source, which is Leadbelly. So I also want to preface, any kind of Sound Frontier interpretations with, out of a respect for the original source. Leadbelly played, it was him in that 12 string, masterfully done, almost like a field hollering. And so, listening to the song, what we have done with the song is we've added a lot of electricity in some senses. We're a power trio, so we got kind of the Hendrix thing going on, but we tried to create a pathway with the song where we start off very kind of simple and then lead into something else, take it into another place. But I just want to make sure that everybody who are Leadbelly purists, we don't want to run into any Bob Dylan 1964 Newport situations and reactions. So I just want to let everybody know that if you're expecting an acoustic sort of one man with a guitar, that's not what this is going to be, although there'll be some performances like that. But the song itself is coming from where we are as a band, and we are bringing our interpretation of it. But we definitely wanted to pay as much homage and show as much respect as we can to the original master and inventor.
That's a good question, man. From what you know about Leadbelly, do you think that he would have been somebody who would have tried electric guitars?
I think so. I mean, it depends on when he got a hold of it.
12-string electric guitars?
There are some. Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. But I think depending on what stage of his life he would have been exposed to it. If he was younger, I think he would have picked up on it. Him, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Son House, Charlie Patton, all those guys, Robert Johnson definitely would have picked up on the instrument, which really didn't get electrified until Charlie Christian. But so yeah, I think he would have loved the vocabulary would have given him, and I think he would have done some great things with the guitar, sort of from a tonal standpoint. If you're giving a master painter more colors to use, he's definitely going to do a lot of good things with it. But I think as long as you try to maintain what the idea of the song is, and Black Betty as a song, I mean, there's so much to that song. It's not just sort of like your average blues song. I mean, that goes. People don't even really know where that song came from, right? I mean, there's so many interpretations as to
I was gonna say that.
what and who Black Betty is.
Yeah.
Actually, Al, if you could just talk about that. Like, there's some people who
So
think
that's
Black Betty
something we
means
probably
this.
would talk about every episode on what is Black Betty to you.
Yeah.
But yes, the term, I mean, is mean whiskey. It's
Right.
mean the whip, from
Right.
From the work chain gang kind of perspective. And some have said it means motorcycle.
Yep.
That it's the motorcycle. So
some have said it's the gun from the jail. The foreman at the jail and the prisons and the work gangs, the chain gangs. And so, the damn thing went crazy is that gun popping off. So there's so many, definitions and theories as to what Leadbelly was trying to say who Black Betty was. It probably was all of them, but we're just trying to give as honest an interpretation as we can and still do justice to the original source as well. So that's important. That's something I want to make sure everybody knows. We're going to take it somewhere that it's never really been, and I'm excited to show that to the world. But it's always going to come back to that one man in that 12th string doing what Leadbelly does, which is a great thing.
And it also shows, man, what's interesting to me is that, I get travel back in time when I think of the stories of, where he was playing, who was listening, what does it look like? Like nowadays you see everybody doing the boots on the ground with the fan and square dance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they was doing that in the 30s. So if we find it exciting, it was happening back then.
Yeah, can you imagine? It's not like they had social media. It's not like they had Twitter accounts and TikToks and all that,
Right.
So
I mean, if you didn't know the dance, you didn't know the dance, man. It wasn't no tutorial.
Dance, didn't know the dance.
And just thinking of it, like he was the guy that was playing the guitar for those concerts, or I mean, for those shows and those juke joints and those salons, and man, so it's just a fascinating, thing to see and where we at today, man.
Yeah, I agree. So if you can just talk a little bit about your plans in general for, as I mentioned, that compilation, where do you see that going? What are you trying to do with the larger idea of this sort of soundtrack? If that genie came out and gave you that wish, what would it be?
Yeah, so ideally it would be having your band, complete your version of the song first. Getting people who have had interest in Leadbelly's history and his music to do their own versions as well. People like Valerie June, Jack White, Shabuzi. Shabuzi is someone who's mentioned on his Wikipedia, and I'm not saying that these is my personal wish list. These are just people who I've heard and over time express, or I've seen them, sprinkle a little Leadbelly in their show. Jack White's done Goodnight Irene. Valerie June, she's done a tribute we did at the Kennedy Center. Fantastic Negrito, he's very good. He's got a very good version of In the Pines that's dedicated to mothers who's lost their sons to violence. Right. So yeah, I mean those are to keep people. Buddy Guy, hopefully will be somebody good. John Tavius Willis will be somebody good. So putting a little little new flair to today's word, today's musicians.
That'd be
good. Giving them some old music to jam to.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, dealing with real world scenarios for all of that's going to cost money, Alvin.
It is.
And a lot of time and energy. And so all of us being grassroots musicians and grassroots archivists, however you want to pronounce it, if we really want to put this thing out properly and give it its just due, there is going to be a bill attached to it. There are going to be certain costs, whether it's production costs, marketing costs, getting everything together that needs to be done to get this music properly recorded so it sounds correct, it sounds good, does justice to Leadbelly, and then making sure we get it out to the people that we feel will be interested in it, requires a particular budget. And so in order for us to really do it the way we've envisioned it, we're going to need the help of basically all the music fans out there, all the blues fans out there, especially the Leadbelly fans out there. We're going to need the help of those people to help us sort of put together the funds to really do this properly. So what we have done is we have created an Indiegogo campaign. If you guys look in the comment section, both in the Facebook and in the YouTube rooms that are streaming this live right now, you're going to see the URL link for the Indiegogo campaign for the Sound Frontier Black Betty Leadbelly 2025 project. It's a very important project. It's something that we are really putting a lot of our effort behind, and we hope that people get behind it, because the more people that get behind it and the more people that help fund it, the more things we can do with it. So what does that mean? If you help contribute to this campaign in any way, whether it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $200, who knows, whatever it wants to be, you will be contributing directly to the production of this, not just song Black Betty, but to launch the entire project. There will be videos that we're going to put along the way, so you will see where your money is going. You will see the progress that's happening. For those of you who are a little more generous than others, you will be rewarded with certain perks, whether it's merchandise, posters, shout outs, liner notes in the released track itself. So I would invite everybody just to click that link, whether it's now in the comment section or if you're watching this later on down the road, you'll also see the link as well. Just click on it, take a read, check out the video, look at the information. And if you just really want to sort of support true and good music from both grateful artists and from a source, man, Alvin, this is the brother who directly ties back to Leadbelly. You know what I mean? So he's not gonna bullshit you, and so he's not gonna want to put anything out that would not be of quality either. So also, I would like to thank you, Alvin, for trusting myself and my band with believing enough and having enough faith in our interpretation of the song to where you feel like that does hold water. So we are honored to be sort of a part of this project, and even more honored to be the launch point for it. So again, everybody, check out that Indiegogo campaign. Help out in any way that you can. That will be much appreciated. That would allow us to get this thing up and running. We are anticipating a launch date of early summer, late second quarter, early third quarter of this year. Things are ready to go. The song is done. We just need to go back in the studio, record it properly, and sort of get it ready to go. So everything, all the chess pieces are put in place. Now we're just going to be executing. But in order to execute it properly, we need to have a certain amount of funds. So we really do hope that anyone who's watching this, both on Facebook and on YouTube and elsewhere, will feel so inclined, will be interested enough to just sort of contribute to what is going to be a 21st century reinterpretation of a blues icon. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that and sees where we're going.
Well said, man. Well said. Well said.
Thank you, bro.
Play that video one more time.
You want to play that video? Yeah, let's play
We
the
got
video.
any questions? Anybody? And how many people we got watching?
Right now we got 10. Okay. I don't see any comments. But again, if you guys are going to be checking out this video on the Facebook page or YouTube, and you want to put comments, we're going to answer them retroactively as well. But just also, before I get back to the video, we're going to show you guys the video one more time. Again, you can check me out on Facebook, Ali Bishop. You can check us out on Facebook as Sound Frontier. The name of the band is Sound Frontier. I want to give a shout out to Chunks, my boy Chunks, the fabulous drummer of Sound Frontier, as well as Ivan Hardy, the bass player for Sound Frontier, who are joining me on this adventure. So shout outs to the two of y'all. Also want to give a shout out to Jasmine Tiffany, our publicist. Thank you very much for all the stuff that you're going to be doing as well. And everybody else, again, Kyle, thank you, Kyle, for putting this all in motion. And also, guys, if you like this, let us know, because there are going to be a couple other sort of these live stream / podcasts / interviews that's going to be done with Alvin and basically all the people that he talked about who are a part of either the documentary or who will become a part of this Leadbelly 2025 music project moving forward. So just stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. We hope that you guys are interested. We want y'all to be a part of this. We're really excited to make this 21st century move for this blues icon. It's very important. I feel like people are looking for this kind of heartland, rich soil music. So I find that people is kind of coming back to that already. So it's very important that we maintain the ancestors and keep them alive, both in our hearts, but also in our music. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and play that video for you one more time. We're gonna go ahead and log out after that. Show your love, hit a like button down there wherever it is. Pass this on, share this to your friends, and make sure you click that Indiegogo campaign link and show your love that way too. It'll be much appreciated. On behalf of Sound Frontier, I want to thank again Alvin. I want to thank all of you on the pages, the Leadbelly Facebook page, everybody on the Sound Frontier pages, everybody else. The shout outs to Black Rockers United, shout outs to Rock the Diaspora, shout outs to Punk Black, and all the other organizations that have shown us love as well, and who also share our concern that this thing needs to be continued and maintained moving into the future.
Thank you, everybody. Man, enjoy. We're going to see you next week.
We're going to see you next week.
Oh, Black Betty, bam, bam, Black Betty, Black Betty.
You know the song, you know the legend. Now it's time for a fresh take. Sound Frontier Band is re-recording Black Betty as part of the Man Who Invented Rock and Roll documentary project, paying tribute to the great Leadbelly with a brand new sound for a new generation. My name is DJ Al Spin, and I'm the great-nephew and family archivist of the legendary blues singer Leadbelly. For the past 15 years, I've been traveling the world, learning about Leadbelly's musical impact. I've made some very talented musicians. In this project, I'm excited to join and create a new generation of music inspired by my uncle's catalog. In order for us to bring a new sound frontier in the 21st century, we need you to make it happen. Your support helps bring this iconic song back to life. So let's do this. Join the movement, back the campaign, and let's get Black Betty back where she belongs, blasting through your speakers.
Oh, Black Betty, bam, lamb. Oh, Black Betty, bam, lamb, Black Betty, bam, lamb, Black Betty, Black.